up, YouTube fans, random people on YouTube watching this video? Hopefully in this video you'll be able to learn a little bit about the blockchain and about crypto and smart contracts, essentially by doing, let's say. So in this video what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a couple smart contracts for the whole Mu ecosystem. So I'm going to explain to you what we're going to actually create here. So what we're actually going to create is we're first going to basically create the mock-ups for this to make sure that everything that we create is completely correct. So we're going to essentially be creating two things here. We're going to be creating a payment splitting contract that's going to essentially receive a payment and then split that payment up among multiple people. And then we're going to be creating a contract that's going to allow people to essentially buy Tier 5 software on an LTD using one of our cryptocurrencies, which is essentially this Mu Gold over here. It's going to allow people to take their Mu Gold and spend their Mu Gold on buying software from Tier 5 at really a huge discount on a lifetime deal. So we have all these different softwares, we have white labels, we have partner programs. Pretty much anything that I actually offer, I'm going to allow people to essentially buy that on a one-time payment using this smart contract that we're going to actually create. And then all of the money from the sale of that smart contract, so from anything people buy, is going to be sent to this actual payment splitter, and that's going to split up all that money to anybody who is essentially in that payment splitter. So to kind of go in and show you what's going to happen is, again, I want to give you kind of like a practical understanding of what's going to happen. I'm John Vaughn. I'm the founder and CEO of the software development firm Tier 5. You can essentially, go to partner.tier5.us and find out more about Tier 5 and our partner program specifically, where you'll learn about our partner program, which is one of our offers. You can essentially see our company. We're a 6-year-old company. That's me. That's my wife. There I am there. Our first year anniversary, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and we're actually moving into blockchain development and starting to build blockchain applications. So this is part of that process. And I'm going to show you how people can go in, for example, and they can take one of our softwares like Chirply, and you can see what we charge for Chirply: $97 a month, $297 a month, $497 a month, $997 a month. And they can go in and essentially buy this software on a one-time payment and only actually pay once for this software, have this software for life, and they're going to essentially pay for this software with one of our cryptocurrencies, which is called Mu Gold. So we have a cryptocurrency, it's called Mu Gold. We actually have two cryptocurrencies right now. We have Mu Coin, and we essentially have this other coin called Mu Gold. All right, and I'll explain this in other videos. I've actually explained this whole ecosystem and everything. So someone is going to be able to essentially come to this Tier 5 LTD sale contract, and they'll be able to essentially use this contract to buy, let's say, for example, Chirply, or for example, Domain Leads, or Friend Connector, or RoboContact, or Genius Pages. Any of these softwares, actually any of my offers, they'll be able to essentially buy any of my offers on a discounted one-time fee. They're only going to pay once, and they're going to get a substantial discount because they're going to be using their Mu Gold to pay for everything. So they'll basically interact with this contract. They'll basically pay this contract, it's their Mu Gold, to be able to get whatever offer that they wanted. And then the payment that they make to this contract will actually be sent to this smart contract, which is an LTD sale splitter. So this contract will actually split up all the money that is made from this particular sale to different people depending on how many shares that they have. So if this doesn't actually make a lot of sense, then it should make sense as we actually move forward. So in order to move forward, we need to understand a few things, okay? So this contract, so what is a smart contract? Again, a smart contract, if you haven't watched my other videos, a smart contract is literally just a bunch of code that lives in the blockchain. For example, this is the code for this LTD first sale. This is the code for this contract right here, which is going to receive all the money from this sale and then distribute it to different people. All right, so another smart contract is our mu gold. So we can actually look at our mu gold, and here's our mu gold, and we can see that this mu gold is essentially a smart contract. We can go in and actually look at the contract if we want to, and we can see all the code for this contract just by coming over to the contract and looking at all this different code. So we can look at all this code and we can see what is the code that actually creates our mu gold. So not only can we look at that code, we can go in and actually see everybody who holds our mu gold, because our mu gold is a cryptocurrency token. So it's not a coin, it's an actual token. All right, and if you don't know the difference between a coin and a token, I have videos that actually explain all of that. So we're going in and we're creating this LTD sale splitter. So again, this is going to be a smart contract that's going to receive money, and then there are different people that it splits that money up into. And any of those people can go in and they can get their portion of their money anytime they want. So who are going to be the people that get this money? We're basically just going to look at mu gold. We're going to look at the holders, and we are going to basically equally distribute all the money. Let me just move this over here. We're going to basically equally distribute all the money that's coming into this. So 100% of the money that comes from this special sale that we're running, and you're going to see this contract be written. So 100% of the money coming from this sale is going into this payment splitter. And then the money is all being split among several people. And the people who are getting all the money are essentially going to be everybody who already has some mu gold right now. So if you already have some mu gold right now, you are going to essentially be getting a share of this money. How much money are you going to get is going to be, it's going to be a relative portion to how much mu gold that you have already. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to essentially create our list of people who are going to be getting this mu gold. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at these contracts here. All right, so let's just look at these contracts. We're going to look at this number 1 contract. And we can see that this is a contract that actually holds a whole bunch of tokens. This is actually, if you look at our ecosystem, this is actually this vesting contract right here. If we go in and look, we can see it's the same contract. It's this vesting contract right here. If you don't know what this is, I have another video that actually explains this contract. So we're going to basically get this contract's address. Now that we know that this is the vesting contract, we're going to get this contract's address. And what we're going to do is we're going to essentially add it to here into some array. And then we're also going to get the amount of mu gold that it owns. And we're going to put that in another array. Okay. And then we're going to keep looking. We're going to look at this contract here, number 2. And we can see that this contract is a liquidity pool token that is holding some mu coin and some mu gold. So if you don't know what that means, then that contract is essentially this contract right here. It's the liquidity pool. It's the whole way that people are able to go in and buy mu gold in the first place. Anybody can go in, if they have some mu coin, they can take their mu coin and they can trade it and get some mu gold. So that contract address is actually the liquidity pool, and because it's the liquidity pool, it's not really a holder. It doesn't actually hold. I mean, it does. It is holding some mu gold. It's holding 34,000 mu gold, but this is basically the mu gold that's available in the market for people to buy if somebody actually wants to buy it. And it's really bad. I have another video that you can watch if you want to understand why we would never send anything to this contract. But we're definitely going to skip this contract because it is the liquidity provider. Now I can see just by looking at the rest of these addresses, since they don't have a contract icon here, that these are wallet addresses. These are contracts. That's why they have this little icon here that says contract. And I can easily see that the rest of these are actual individual people, their wallet addresses that actually are holding it. So I can look at this and I can see that this person has essentially $937 worth of AVAX. They have 10 AVAX in their wallet, and they essentially have some USDC coin, they have some fake dollars, they have some liquidity pool tokens, they have some memories, they have some Mu coin, and they essentially have some Mu gold. So what we're going to do is we're going to essentially take this person here, because that's an address that we need, and we're going to add them to this here. And then we're also going to take this amount that they own here, and we're going to come in and put that inside here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to round up to the next one. Okay, so we're just going to round up one. And what we're essentially going to do is we're essentially going to do the same thing. We're essentially going to do the same thing for everybody else. So now we're going to come in and grab this address. And we're going to grab this amount right here. And we're basically just going to make this round up to a 5. And then we're going to grab this address right here. And we're going to add this here. And if you're still a little bit confused, then you're going to understand here in a second what's actually happening. And we're going to come in here, and we're going to round this up to a 4. We're going to get rid of that comma there, make another comma here. I'm going to grab this. And we're going to add this here. We're going to grab this here, and we're going to add this here, and we're going to basically make this a 5. And then we're going to grab this here. We're going to grab this here. And we're going to grab this last one here. And we're going to grab this last one here. And then we're basically going to turn this into a 2. All right, so now we have our data for our payment splitting contract. And what that means, again, I'm going to go in and show you. Again, what that means is we're making this contract, and this contract is going to be a contract that people can use to buy our software for a discounted one-time fee. And however much, let's say you're going to buy our software, and again, let's just use some fake numbers here. Let's say you're going to buy Friend Connector here, normally $47 a month or $1,000 one-time fee, and then $20 a month for the upgrade or another $1,000 one-time fee. Let's say we're going to allow you to essentially buy that software for a one-time payment at a huge discount for just $100 if you buy it with $100 worth of Mu coin. So someone's interested in saving a whole bunch of money, so they go in and they essentially buy some Mu coin, they convert that to Mu gold, and they have now what is $100 worth of Mu gold, and they're going to essentially give that $100 of Mu gold to this contract, and they're going to buy Friend Connector on a lifetime deal, get a huge discount, and then that $100 of Mu gold is going to then be sent to this payment splitter. And that $100 of Mu gold is going to be distributed to these wallet addresses that we just got, and it's going to be distributed in this proportion. So you could essentially say, hey, let's sum all these up. So let's add this and this and this and this. Let's add all these values together and come up with the total value, and then take this number and put that number over top of that value to come up with the portion that describes this first address, what percentage of this total does it actually own, and let's send them that percentage of the money that are coming in. So hopefully that makes sense to you. hopefully that makes total sense to you, and you understand that what's happening is whenever somebody actually pays for something on this contract, that contract just takes the payment and sends that payment to this other contract, which we're building right now, which is this payment splitter, and that contract is going to split all that money up equally to everybody that's on this list in proportion to these numbers right here. So we're going to find the sum of all these numbers right here, and then the proportion of that sum that they have, that's how much proportion of all the money they're going to actually get. And who are these people again? Well, these people are, if we actually look at our mu coin, or if we look at our mu gold, these are the people who actually hold mu gold. So we're taking everybody that already has mu gold, and they've already went out and they've taken time and they've purchased mu gold and they've got into the mu ecosystem really early. Everybody but the liquidity contract, we're taking everybody else and we're rewarding them with some free money. So all the money that comes in from this particular sale is going to be distributed to everybody that's currently holding this mu gold. They're going to get their equal share of that money, so they're all going to get some free money. So if this sale, let's say it does $100,000 in sales from this sale right here, well, it's going to send $100,000 to this contract, and that contract is going to equally divide that $100,000 into all of these addresses here. So this person is going to get the smallest percent of that $100,000. They're going to get basically 102 over the sum of this. And this person here is going to get the largest amount. And the reason for that is they have the largest, they're already holding the largest amount of the mu gold. So hopefully that makes sense. So here is that payment splitting contract, okay? So we're going to actually take that payment splitting contract, and we're going to basically give this information when we deploy it. So we're going to give who are the people that we're going to pay. So we're going to pay these people. So we're going to give it that value. And we're going to give it the shares. How much are we going to pay each person? What percentage of payment is each person going to get? Where we're going to take these shares, we're going to throw it inside there, and then we're going to hit transact. We're going to hit confirm, and we're going to hit confirm. Okay. So now we have successfully deployed a smart contract to the blockchain. So let's go in and actually look at that transaction. So here's that transaction that we just made. Here's the contract that we just created. So this contract is right here. This LTD sale, first LTD sale splitter, that is this contract right here. We've just created that. We have just created that contract. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to essentially verify this contract. How we're going to verify this contract is we're going to come in and we're going to say, hey, we want to verify this. This is a single file. And this was, okay. So what we're doing is all we're doing now is we're going in and saying, hey, we want to verify this contract address that we just published. And in order to verify it, what we're going to do is we're just going to basically give you the code that we use to create that contract. And we're going to give you that code in just one single file. I'm going to tell you what version of the compiler that I use. This is just some technical jargon, but if you look over here, you can see the version of the compiler that we used. Let me go ahead and click compile here, our first LTD sale. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to flatten this. And now we're going to come back over here to this contract. We're going to say, hey, what license are we using? You can see what license that we're using up here. We're using this MIT license. And then we're going to hit continue. We are then going to pop in that code there. And we're going to say I'm not a robot. And we're going to verify and publish. See what happens. So let's see what happens. So we successfully verified this contract. So let's go look at this contract now. And now we can see on this contract that it has a little check mark here. And we can see all the code that we use to write the contract. And we can see the functions that we have, the way that we can actually interact, the way that we can essentially interact with this contract. So it looks like we can release. Looks like we can release a token. We can see some information, how much has been released of any token, how much shares contract address has. So for example, I can come in here, I can take my address because I actually own, as you can see, I own some Mu gold. And since I own some Mu gold, I ended up being this address right here. That's me. I own the most Mu gold outside of this guy, outside of these two guys. This was essentially the liquidity pool, and this was essentially the vesting contract. So if you look again, one is the liquidity pool here. One is this vesting contract that essentially is a linear vesting contract that just basically owns stuff, and it's locked up until, for the next 6 years, until January 1st of 2028. And then one of those guys were me. That's me right there. So again, we can go look at this contract and we can say, hey, how many shares does this person have? We can query, and it's showing you, hey, how many shares do they have? They have this many shares. We can go in and actually look at this contract that held half the supply of Mu gold, which was this vesting contract. And we can look and see, hey, how many shares do they have? They have 50,000 shares. Okay, and we can look at all of these people. We can go in, this person had 120. Let's look at them and see how many shares do they have. They have 120. Okay, so we successfully verified this contract. So this contract is done. It's verified on the blockchain. So now we've verified this LTD, and that guy's ready to go. All right, so let's go in and actually save him. Okay. Now the next thing that we're going to do, is we are going to create this contract right here, Tier 5 LTD sale. Okay, so we already have one of these that we created before, so we're just going to go in and find it. That's him right there. We've already verified his contract, so what we're going to do is we're essentially going to go in and grab his contract, copy his contract, maybe this guy, we're going to go in and actually take his contract. Post his contract in there. Save. Make sure this is all done correctly. Alright, so I think this is actually done correctly. So let's come in and compile Tier 5 LTD sale. Alright, so we're going to compile this guy, and now what we're going to do is we're going to deploy Tier 5 LTD sale. And this guy wants two different informations. He wants to know what currency are people going to use to pay with, and who are we paying? Who gets all the money? So we're going to give him two informations. We're going to give him This is a contract that we just actually created. Let's double check just by going in and essentially grabbing my address and making sure that I have this many shares. 11,542. 11,541. I have almost that many shares. I rounded down. That's the same value that I had over here to 11,541. So I actually rounded down one for me and rounded up for everybody else. So this is who I'm going to pay. This was my contract splitter, if you remember. This is my payment splitter. So I'm going to pay this payment splitter. I'm going to send all the money to this payment splitter. And what type of money do I want? Well, I want mu gold. So I'm going to give this contract address because I want some mu gold. That's the only type of payment that I'm going to accept here. So now I'm going to go in and create this guy. So now I'm going to create this contract here. Now this allows somebody to go in and buy an LTD. And you'll be able to see this here in a minute once we verify all the code. So let's come in here and now look at this contract. So this contract isn't actually verified, so let's go verify and publish. And we're going to go in and say, hey, same thing here, 8.2. MIT license, continue. And what we're going to do, we're going to come over here and we are going to flatten this. And we're now going to come over here and paste that in here. And we're going to verify and publish. And now this contract has been created. And it's been verified. So we can see this is the Tier 5 LTD sale. We have some stuff that we can do. We can see when the deal ends. So when does this deal actually end? In order to see when the deal ends, we can just do a Unix epoch time converter. And this is just going to basically just going to convert this time that it says, okay, the deal ends at this time. It's going to convert that into a date that makes sense to you guys. So you can see this deal ends on February 1st, 2022 at exactly midnight. So till the end of the month. That's when the deal ends, at the end of the month. We can see some math. We can get a buyer's email if they buy something. We can go in and find out what email address that they wanted their software account set up. We can see how much mu gold they need to approve in order to be able to buy something from us. We can see that they can get the product cost, how much something is going to cost. We can see how much a buyer has actually paid. And then we can also see, okay, where are we paying? And we can actually look at this contract and see, hey, this contract ends up being, guess what? That payment splitter that we just created and we just verified. So that contract ends up being that payment splitter. That's who we're paying. And we can also see what is this current contract's address. So that's this current contract's address. Now this is the contract address that I'll give to people if they want to go in and buy an LTD. So if you want to go in and buy an LTD, if you want to go in and buy our software, buy our partner program, buy a white label to our software. Basically, if you want to go in and purchase literally anything that I have to offer, you have up until February 1st of 2022 at midnight to make me the offer. Tell me exactly what you want to purchase, exactly what you're wanting, and exactly what you want to pay for it. And if it sounds like a good deal to me, I'll approve it. I'll add it to the smart contract. You can use this smart contract to pay. and this smart contract will then approve the deal for you. It will take your money, and then it will essentially, this smart contract, it will take your money and it will essentially send your money that you're paying for that deal that you wanted. It will send it to this contract, and this contract will essentially send it to all of these people who are actually holding MuCoin. So again, if I sell $100,000 from now until February 1st, because everybody wants to buy my offers and they only want to pay a one-time fee, then all that $100,000 is getting distributed to the people who are already owning Mu Gold. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to use this contract. I'm going to show you how to use this contract. I'm going to show you how to go in and actually buy an LTD, and I'm going to show you how the money actually gets distributed to the people who are already holding Mu coins. So what we did in this video was we essentially created this Tier 5 LTD sale contract. That's payment splitter. This is Tier 5 LTD. So what we're going to do is we're going to do edit link, paste that there, and then we're going to find that payment splitter. This was that payment splitter right there. We're going to grab that link, and we're going to put him right there. So we've created these two contracts right here. So we've created these two contracts right here, where now you can go in and you can basically buy any offer from me or my company that you want, and you can buy that with Mu Gold. Now, how do you get Mu Gold? You go in and just essentially buy some Mu coin. You can go in and buy some Mu coin. How do you buy Mu coin? You can buy Mu coin on Trader Joe or on Sushi Swap, and you can essentially use USDC, AVAX, DAI, USDT, or MIM. And you can use any of those currencies, actually any currency that you really want. You can use those to actually buy some Mu coin, and then you can take that Mu coin and you can use that Mu coin to buy Mu Gold. You can only buy Mu Gold with Mu coin, and then you can use that Mu Gold to essentially buy any of our offers and only ever pay once. And that Mu Gold that you spend to buy that offer is actually going to be then sent over here, and it's going to be split up equally to everybody that actually owns Mu Gold. So for example, let's say you wanted to buy Friend Connector, and I said Friend Connector was 100 Mu Gold. Well, this person right here could then go to this contract and they could spend their 100 Mu Gold and they could get Friend Connector. Now they would only have basically two Mu Golds, because they have 101, they're spending 100, so they basically only have one Mu Gold left. But now they get Friend Connector, lifetime deal on Friend Connector. They just saved a huge amount of money. They got some software that they wanted. They paid some Mu Gold, but guess what's going to happen to that 100 Mu Gold? Now they only have one Mu Gold left because they paid 100 Mu Gold to this guy right here. And this guy right here took that 100 Mu Gold and it sent it to this contract right here. And this contract right here sent that Mu Gold to everybody who currently owns Mu Gold. So this guy would just actually get some money right back. So he would get some money. So he's going to get an even bigger discount on buying the software, because he's going to get some of that Mu Gold automatically sent back to him. So hopefully that makes sense. In the next video, I'll go in and show you how to actually buy the LTD with some Mu Gold. I already have videos showing you how to essentially buy Mu Gold, but I'll show you how to buy the LTD with the Mu Gold, and I'll show you all the distributions and how that actually works, so you can see everything actually working. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those questions down in the comments below.